Live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And a happy Friday to you, and welcome to our last doubleheader of the baseball season. We could have, we'll have one champion crowned today because the Dodgers and Phillies will play tonight for the National League Championship. It's Saturday, October 8th in this replay. Actually, no, it's Sunday, October 8th in this replay. And the Yankees and Rangers get the 4 o'clock football doubleheader slot on ABC. So you can watch the Yankees and the Rangers, or you can watch whatever CBS and NBC had for football. Tonight, of course, the Dodgers and the Yankees live in prime time. Dodgers and the Phillies in prime time, and the winner of that goes to the World Series. Now, because of the way that we do the schedule and because of a number of other things, such as thou shalt not put a World Series game against Monday Night Football if we can't help it, the World Series starts in 2 days regardless of what happens or not. We're not starting till Tuesday. But on this Sunday, you're going to get maybe 1 day off. So the Yankees really want to get this done today. That's the good news, because tomorrow would be a Game 5, and it would be a 3 o'clock start. Well, it'll be a prime time for us, but you know what I mean. And the Yankees will need to know where they would be going. The Rangers don't care. The Rangers just want to win. So the Yankees really don't want A, a Game 5, and B, to have the Dodgers win today, because any sensible Yankee fan wants to win today, first of all. But if they don't win today, they want the Phillies to win. They do not want to fly across country and play a game with no rest. That's the thing. Oh, but the Yankees have starting pitching. Oh, not today they don't, because of Jim Beatty being used in the LCS as a long reliever, and Ron Guidry saying, I really can't go on 3 days rest today. The Yankees are using Ken Clay as their starter, and he can go 90 pitches around that. Now, the good news is he's 6-0 with an ERA of 4.17. You have Sparky Lyle, who might be able to go 3 innings, and if you need to have it for the pennant, you could use Goose Gossage for probably 9 outs if you had to. This is one the Yankees can piece together. They're going with the same lineup that they did yesterday, but it's going to be really tough because you can't use Ron Guidry today. You could use Ron Guidry tomorrow. The Yankees hope that it is Game 1 of the World Series when they have to use Ron Guidry. In fact, I'll even tell you right now that the Game 1 starters for the World Series for the Rangers would be Ferguson Jenkins. The Yankees would be Ron Guidry or Catfish Hunter. The Dodgers have announced that Don Sutton would be their Game 1 starter. They do not want to use Bob Welch in a Game 1. Bob Welch would start Game 2, and if the Phillies win tonight, they will go with Dick Ruthven in Game 1, provided that they don't use him tonight. So the Yankees are trying to get a day off. The Dodgers and Phillies will get a day off regardless of who wins tonight. And of course, if it's the Dodgers, they get to go home, or they get to stay home for that. The Yankees really want to wrap this up today, and if they don't, they really want the Phillies to win. All sorts of intrigue, but right now it's Kenny Clay versus Doc Ellis. Next! As Retro Sports Network presents the 1978 American League Championship Series. This afternoon from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, it's Game 4, with the Yankees having a chance to win the American League pennant. They lead the series 2-1. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, and wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Well, with all that long-winded stuff, we say hello and brings you all in. So, DJ John, good morning from the West Coast. Big Clue, good afternoon from Rangers country. Lorenzo really hoping the Yanks win this one. But as I said in the intro, if they don't, they all become Philly fans tonight. Because there would be no travel day in the between the ALCS and the World Series if this goes 5. You can thank Pete Rozelle. Big Clue wants the Yankees to beat the Dodgers. Ricky, how are you? So Mike Hargrove will lead it off. We'll get to the lineups in a second. Kenny Clay is not who you really want to start a playoff clincher. And so this is the paradox of playoff baseball. But let's tell you, the lineup. It pretty much is the same as it has been all the way through. The Rangers have not done terribly offensively. These games have all been tight. Mike Hargrove leads off at first base. Bump Wills, who was thrown out trying to advance to third on a ground ball to second, and I really do think that is a turning point of the series, will bat second. Al Oliver in left field will bat third. Bobby Bonds cleans up in right. Richie Zisk, the DH, he'll bat fifth. Jim Sundberg, the catcher, will bat sixth. Toby Hara at third will bat seventh. Juan Beniquez in center field will bat eighth. Bert Campaneris at short will bat ninth. And Doc Ellis is on the mound for the Rangers. They went with him over Doc Medic because the whip is lower. The Rangers think that that's the best chance. If they need to go to a long reliever today, it certainly will be Medic. But the Rangers pitching has pitched all right. The Yankees are just a bunch of pesky hitters. Kenny Clay went 6-0 in the replay with a 4.17 ERA. He started 6 games. In fact, he had quality starts in 5 of his 6 starts. He throws the fastball at 86 and is a ground ball plus pitcher. He's only 24. And we are told that he was more surprised than anybody that the ball was in his shoe when he got to the stadium. In the replay, he threw 101 in the third innings, almost as many as Dalmatians. 126 hits. He allowed 7 homers. He walked 29 and struck out 49. It's the same lineup as last night. Roy White a 7 and a 1 in left, Mickey Rivers an 8 and a 5 in center, and Reggie Jackson a 6 and an 8 in right. Greg Nettles a 10 at third. Bucky Dent a 6 at short. Fred Stanley, who's again the talk of the town, got the back page in both the Newsday, the Post, and the Daily News. Chris Chambliss is a 10 at first, and Thurman Munson a 9 and an 8 behind the plate. Clay gonna have to battle some nerves here. He's a 2 fielder out of 10 and an 882 fielding percentage. And so, if the Yankees win, they win the championship. It's a pennant clincher. 62 degrees, winds blowing out the center at 7. The skies are threatening, so the shadows of late afternoon should not affect either team. The lights are on here at the stadium. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching whatever New York team played at 1 o'clock and got the crap beat out of them. And get settled in here for an afternoon of baseball. Hargrove is 1 for 11 in this ALCS. He has struck out twice and walked twice. He did hit a triple yesterday. And I forgot to fix that. And this starts with a ground ball to third. Nettles to Chambliss, 1 out. No, he blocked it. The throw was in the dirt and Chambliss saved it. Chambliss does his best Eddie Giacomin thing and blocked a low throw, kept his foot on the bag, 1 out. Brings up Bump Wills. Bump 5 for 11. I'm sorry, 3 for 11 in this ALCS. He went 2 for 3 yesterday and stole 2 bases. He has 3 on the LCS. Jamie hoping for a bad day for Clay and a Rangers hooray. Pitch to Wills. Ball 4. That's not what the Yankees need. Bump has speed. Brings up Oliver. Al, 5 for 11 in the ALCS. A double, a strikeout, 1 for 4 yesterday. Pitch from Clay. Ground ball to first. Chambliss, dent for 1. Back to Chris. Is it 2? Yes, it is. So Clay gets through the first on 9 pitches. How you doing, Mr. Wrestling? That's a big, big deal. They need to keep Clay's pitch count down. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. And so this is how the Yankees will line up against Doc Ellis. Mickey Rivers in center field will lead it off. Roy White will play left and bat second. Thurman Munson has hit third all year behind the plate. Reggie Jackson, who's looking forward to his flight to either Philadelphia or Los Angeles, is in right. He'll clean up. Craig Nettles at third will bat fifth. He had the big hit yesterday. Chris Chambliss at first will bat sixth. Lou Piniella will start today as a DH. He'll go seventh. Bucky Dent at short will bat eighth. And Fred Stanley, yesterday's hero, gets the start here in Game 4. He'll bat ninth. And young Kenny Clay, who threw 9 pitches in the first, will be on the mound. And if they can get 5 out of him, especially with the lead, they might be able to piece it all together. So Ellis, 8-7 on the replay with a 3.52 ERA. He made 22 starts. And the reason why I went with Ellis over Medic is the whip's about 300 or 3/10 better. He's a fastball pitcher at 83. He's a fly ball plus pitcher. Going to work kind of like Bill Lee, although I don't suspect that Ellis is putting any substances on his pancakes. Thanks, John. Ellis, 140 and 2/3 innings, 125 hits, 9 homers, 53 walks, and 41 strikeouts. Same defense for Texas as it's been all the way through. Campaneris has not hurt them at all. 5 and a 7 for Oliver in left, a 9 and a 7 for Beniquez in center, Bonds a 7 and an 8 in right, Hera a 5 at third, Campaneris an 8 at short, Bump Wills a 7 at second, Hargrove an 8 at first, and Sundberg a 10 and a 9 behind the plate. Ellis is a 7 on the mound with a .943 fielding percentage. Mickey Rivers is 4 for 12 in this series. 4 singles and 2 runs. Does not have a stolen base. But he's not really had much of a chance to steal. And Rivers will send this one into center. Beniquez, 1 out. So here is Roy White, who's not had a good series. And the graphics department put up the wrong graphic. White went 1 for 3 yesterday with a walk, so he's 2 for 10 in the ALCS with an RBI. Ellis into left center, Beniquez, 2 out. So here's Thurman Munson. The whispers of him asking for a trade rattled the papers this morning. He is 4 for 11 in the LCS. Had an RBI yesterday. That's 3 on the series. He has singled 4 times. The subheadline was "Say It Ain't So, Therm." Pitch to Munson is a fly ball right center. Beniquez is there, and that will retire the side. So the Yankees and Rangers are scoreless after 1. Bonds, Zisk, and Sundberg to follow. So you're wondering how close this series has been after 3 games, gang? Look at that. Both teams have scored 12 runs. The Yankees have 21 hits, the Rangers 22. The Yankees have 1 error, Texas has 2. You can't get any closer than that. If you were measuring for a first down, you need the credit card out just to see if they got it or not. Gillette thinks that you can't get a closer shave than that, can you? And if you're wondering about tonight, the Phillies have outscored the Dodgers 28-20. But the hits, 41 for the Dodgers, 40 for the Phils, and 11 combined errors the first 4 games. Bonds 4 for 12 in the LCS. He's 2 doubles and 3 RBI. Hitting .333. And out when he lines to Clay, 1 out for Richie Zisk. That's not been a very clean series. 48 runs, I'm surprised, in 4 games. You would have suspected that the National League one would have been the tighter pitching and the American League one with more offense. Yep, this has been the cleaner of the 2 series, and tied at 12 runs apiece. You kind of understand. Zisk 1 for 13. He has struck out 5 times. He went 0 for 4 yesterday. Pitch from Clay. Ground ball to third. Nettles to Chambliss, 2 out. So Jim Sundberg, 2 for 12. He went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts yesterday. Has doubled twice and driven in 2. Pitch from Clay. Into left, White, and that's a foul ball. Somebody from Yonkers made that catch, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Here's a ground ball base hit. First base runner of the game is Sundberg, a 2-out single in the hole and left. So Clay takes the ball back. And here's Toby Harrah. Toby is 1 for 8 on the series. He has driven in 2 and hit a home run in game 2. He went 0 for 3 last night. Pitch to Harrah. There goes Sundberg to throw down to Stanley. And what is the computer thinking? No runs. 1 hit. Talk about your mental errors. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. You got a guy who hasn't pitched in a month on the mound, and you're trying to steal? Wow is right. So Ellis is going, my goodness, what are you doing, Jim? Don't be the hero. For the Rangers, just let the game come to you. For the Yankees, just be patient. You know how good you are. Reggie is 2 for 10 in this LCS. He went 0 for 4 yesterday. He had a home run in game 2, and that was his only run. Now, remember, Munson plays until August of 79, so He'll get that. And obviously, the Dodgers and Phillies have speed. Yeah, and that's, as Brent says, that's an error. No postseason experience. Pitch to Jackson is fly ball center field. Benitez, 1 out. Ellis does have postseason experience. He was with the Pirates in '71. Nettles 1 for 4. Hit the big solo shot yesterday. So 2 for 12 with 2 strikeouts. Going to be plenty of contact in this game. No one is a strikeout pitcher. Popped up. Campaneris, Benitez, and Juan had to come in. He rode the Schwinn and made the basket catch. So that's what you get for putting a basket in the front of the bike. 2 out. Here's Chambliss. He's 2 for 11. He hit a solo shot yesterday as well. He has 2 homers and 5 RBI. Remember, he hit the garbage time granny in Game 2. Runs have been hard to come up with for both teams. Pitch to Chambliss, and there's a fly ball to right. Bonds goes back. Will make the catch, and after 2, no score. So Toby Harrah, Juan Benitez, and Bert Campaneris to face Clay here in the 3rd. Harrah 1 for 8. He went 0 for 3 yesterday. Had the 2-run RBIs in Game 2 and a home run. So Clay giving the Yankees exactly what they need. And again, get the game to Sparky Lyle, who can turn the game over to Goose Gossage to win you the pennant. Pitch to Harrah is a ground ball base hit by a diving Chambliss. Harrah has good speed. He won't steal here, maybe. And so there's nobody out for Benitez. Juan can bunt. He is 3 for 9 in the playoffs. Struck out once yesterday going 0 for 3. He does have a double. And the Yankees know that Texas can play small ball. So Nettles and Chambliss play for the bunt. Gets away from Munson, and Harrah moves up to second on the wild pitch. That was in the dirt. Munson looks out to Clay and just kind of steadies their hands and say, just bear down, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They still play for the bunt. Pitch to Benitez is up the middle, a base hit. Harrah rounds third and scores, and it's 1-0 Texas. So you just kind of had to wonder how much this postseason pressure would get to Clay. And there you go. So 1-0, nobody out for Campy, who is 2 for 8 in the postseason with a double. And for Campaneris, that's almost like Rod Carew numbers. Again, they play for the bunt. Lemon says, take a deep breath, kid. Play nods. Bunt is down. Munson to Stanley covering. The sacrifice worked, as you would expect. 2 out. Or Hargrove was 0 for 1. Clay's pitch count is fine. 9 batters, 28 pitches, 2 1/3 innings, 3 hits and a walk. Pitch to Hargrove is a liner up the middle. Rivers with the catch, 2 out. And again, Clay exhales some more. Brings up Bump Wills, who walked his first time up. Clay from the stretch to third. Nettles over to Chambliss, and Clay gets out of it. He gives up a run on 2 hits and no errors. The Rangers strand the runner. We go to the bottom of the 3rd of Game 4, 1-0 Texas. So Clay gets some reassuring words from Bob Lemon and Yogi Berra in the dugout. Piniella is 0 for 11 in the series. And you got to wonder if he starts off 0 for 2, whether they will actually do something to change that, to pinch hit for him. Ellis starts the third. Into right, Bonds, 1 out. Here's Bucky Dent. Bucky is 1 for 9 in this series with a strikeout. He got the run in game 1 and he singled in game 2. Yeah, a shot of brandy. He's pitched well. He's only had 33 pitches through 3. And to me, just between you and me and the bedpost, the best sign the game gives you that a pitcher is doing all right is his pitch count. And 11 pitches for 3 innings per inning is pretty good. I think Clay has given the Yankees what they've needed. Pitch to Dent is a liner to Campaneris, 2 out. So here's Fred Stanley, last night's hero. He went 2 for 3. He singled, doubled, scored, and threw out Bump Wills in the 9th inning, going from second to third on a ground ball to second. He is a shortstop by trade. He played 70 games as a defensive replacement and 12 at second. Pitch from Ellis. Base hit! He may not be Steggy Light anymore. So Stanley gets the first hit. With 2 outs here in the third, Rivers is 0 for 1. Ellis, 2 2/3 innings. 9 batters, 26 pitches, and a hit. So when your 24th and 25th men on the roster are the ones that are leading the charge, that's pretty good. Pitch to Rivers. Into center field, Beniquez makes a tremendous catch. He dives on the grass, shows the glove, and that's the side. The Yankees strand a runner. They get a hit. After 3, 1-0 Texas. So Oliver was 0 for 1. He's grounded into a double play. Pitch. Base hit left side, and Oliver is on with a single. 4th hit for the Rangers. Lemon, looking at his notes, theoretically he could turn it over to Sparky pretty soon. But the Yankees need to get some offense off of Ellis. Bonds is 0 for 1. He drops a bunt. Chambliss, he throws to second. They get the runner there. So they play small ball with Bonds, and they get Al Oliver. So the sacrifice doesn't work. 1-6 on the putout, or 3-6 rather, 3-6. So again, the Rangers, right idea, wrong area code. Here's Ziski's 0 for 1. Again, as Brent said, they're pressing. And the stuff that you Texas is kind of like Kansas City with some power. But the stuff you normally would not do, unless you're in spring training, is not what you pull out to do in the middle of October. Pitch to Zisk. Gets away from Munson, and Bonds gladly takes the 90 feet on the pass ball. So Munson pats himself on the orange vest and says, "My bad, Kenny, my bad." And the count is 3-0. The pitch to Zisk. There's a ground ball to Stanley. Over to first, 2 out. So here's Sundberg. He got the first hit of the ball game. An apprehensive crowd here at Yankee Stadium, but the heart of the lineup is coming up to face Ellis in the 4th. Sundberg 1-for-1, struck him out. A stand and deliver moment from Kenny Clay. He got him looking on a full count fastball at 87. And maybe whether it's a shot of brandy or some other liquid courage, but Clay did what he had to do. No runs, 1 hit. The Rangers leave a man on. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Texas. So Roy White, Thurman Munson, and Reggie Jackson. It's okay, we're all on the charter back to Los Angeles tonight, Lorenzo. My frequent flyer miles have frequent flyer miles. White 0-for-1. Into right, 1 out. Here's Munson, he's 0-for-1. Matlack and Guidry if this one goes the distance. And those extra slides, wink, wink, that I've made for certain teams. Well, tomorrow you can't be jinxing it. Tonight you can't be jinxing it either. Pitch to Munson. There's a line drive to Campaneris. 2 out. So Reggie Jackson is 0-for-1. Pitch to Reggie. Ball 4. So Reggie draws the 2-out walk for Nettles, who's 0-for-1. Ellis takes a moment now, gathers himself, and Nettles sends this one into left center field, but Beniquez will track it down in Death Valley, and that will retire the side. Yep, no runs, no hits, no errors. After 4, Texas 1, the Yankees nothing. And yep, the Yankees, I think Ricky's right here, are 1 home run away from starting a spark. A lot of line drives off of Ellis. Ellis is a fly ball pitcher. But you just need the dam to break and have something fall. Here's Hara. He singled and scored in the 3rd. Kenny Clay could use a pickup. And I'm not talking about a shot of Mr. Boston Brandy either. Pitch to Hara. Toby is in the left center field with a base hit. And Toby can steal. So a leadoff single. Beniquez had an RBI single his first time up. You knew that they'd be able to hit. Lorenzo's right. They're getting a lot of good wood on the ball. But that's where your scouting reports pay off. They know where to field them. Throw to first. Hara is back. Clay's pitch. Base hit left field. Hara will go to 3rd. And now there's runners on the corners and nobody out. The Yankees playing for a bunt. Ricky says, except they can't keep the fielding charts in the hat. So Sparky's starting to warm. Although Clay has about 30 pitches left. You don't want it to get too out of whack. They play for the bunt. He drops one. Munson throws to first. Stanley can't make the play. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. It's a sacrifice, not a squeeze. I've never known the computer to squeeze. So it's 2-4 on the bunt. Beniquez is on second. Hara on third. And they'll walk Hargrove because Hargrove's batting average here is .330. So they'll pitch to Bump Wills, who was 0 for 1 with a walk. Yankees have the double play set up. And Sparky looking up in the air there. Yeah, the chalkboard drew it as a squeeze play, which is why I didn't call it. Because sometimes it'll advance runners when it shouldn't. And I knew that Hara wasn't going to do that, just out of there. So, pretty much coming to the end of the line for Kenny Clay. Wills is 0 for 1 with a walk. Into left center field. That'll keep Clay in the ball game. Sac fly. Rivers throws it in the infield. And Beniquez goes to third. And that'll do it. 2-0 Texas. And Clay is going to be done. And the reason why, just in case you're wondering, with the 2 outs in the 5th, look at that batting average. That's why I have it up there. 435. A 2-run deficit you can do. Anything else, and the Yankees are definitely playing Game 5 tomorrow. So Sparky Lyle, although that batting average isn't very good either, comes in. We got a pitching change this game coming to you from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Sparky went 3 innings in Game 2. He allowed 4 hits, a run, and he walked 3. He's a fastball pitcher at 83 and a ground ball pitcher. And he's going to need everything here to keep the Yankees in. Now, we've been told that if the Yankees are behind by more than a couple runs, that Gossage will not pitch. But if it's a 1-run game either way, Gossage has been told up to 9 outs. Or else you're gambling that Guidry can go a complete game in a Game 5. But right now, it's Lyle to Oliver, and Al's 1 for 2 with a single. And there's a base hit up the middle. Benitez will score. Hargrove goes into second. 2 out for Bobby Bonds, who's 0 for 2, and the Rangers lead at 3-0. Lorenzo, there's no cell phone service in 1978, looking for a payphone to get his taxi to LaGuardia to catch his flight. JFK to Los Angeles. But they've told him that the announce crew will make it, and so will he. Pitch to Bonds. And there's a fly ball to left. White is there. And does he drop it? No, he plays hot potato with it and got it. Look what I found, Mom. But the Rangers get 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 2 on. We're halfway home in Game 4. It's 3-0 Texas. Well, you better have brought your Army buddies with you, because we're on a flight to Los Angeles after the game. And if you're watching on Twitch, we'll be back in a moment. Retro Sports Network proudly presents Game 4 of the 1978 American League Championship Series. This afternoon from the Bronx, it's Game 4 of this American League Championship Series between the Texas Rangers and New York Yankees. The Yankees can win the pennant. They lead 2-1, but they trail 3-0. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. If you make us late for that flight, Lorenzo, I'm telling you. All right, here's how we got here. The Rangers got a run in the 3rd. Juan Benitez singled to score. Toby Harrow 1-0. In the 5th, the Rangers got 2 more. Bump Wills with a sac fly to make it 2-0. And then Al Oliver singled home Juan Benitez to make it 3-0. Doc Ellis, a 1-hitter through 4. How about that as a stand-and-deliver performance? Kenny Clay, I thought, pitched okay. He did what he had to do. The Yankees would have loved for him to have gone 6. He goes 4 2/3. This game isn't over by a long shot. 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1, and now Sparky Lyle, who is not on the top of George Steinbrenner's Christmas card list by any stretch of the imagination, is on to try to bridge this over and see if the Yankees can actually get something to fall off of Ellis. As you guys have pointed out, they've hit the ball hard, but they've hit atom balls right at somebody. Chambliss is 0 for 1, so I'm saying that 3 runs from this Yankee team is nothing. A ground ball to Hargrove. Takes it to the bag himself, 1 out. And a big play to the Puerto Rican version of Menudo. Isn't that the boy band? Called Mondongo. That sounds like something from a David Ortiz skit on Saturday Night Live. What is it? That sounds good. Lou Piniella is 0 for 1. And by goodness does he need a hit. Pitch to Lou is a ground ball. Wills behind the bag at second over to first. 2 out. For Bucky Dent, who was 0 for 1. Pitch to Dent. There's a base hit left center field. He'll round first and hold. And that's a 2-out single. Second hit for the Yankees. And here is Fred Stanley. That picture of Fred Stanley, by the way, is at pre-renovated Yankee Stadium. You see the bleachers in white, and above those, the ads that used to be, well, now where the scoreboard is. And that's Archaeology Today. Brought to you by Fortnite. It's also a Godzilla rival, almost as deathly as... So is it a drink? No, it's a plate of it. What is it? You can't Google and call play-by-play at the same time, buddy. Pitch to Stanley. Here's a fly ball to center. Beniquez retreats and makes the catch. No runs, no 1 hit, no errors. We go to the 6th. It's still 3-0 Texas. So Zisk is 0 for 2. Sundberg and Hara to follow. No, I haven't. I'm not being sarcastic. I have no idea what it is. I live in New England. I've listened to Menudo when I was a kid, but I have no idea what that is. Oh, yeah, I probably wouldn't eat that. My mom had tripe as a kid. And for those of you watching on the Fortnite channel, we're talking cow tongue. Pitch to Zisk, who's 0 for 2. Ground ball, base hit, right side. I'll take your word for it. I'm not a huge fan of organ meat. Here's Sundberg. He's 1 for 2. Oh, cow stomach. I'm still not a big fan of organ meat. Thanks for the correction, though. Cow stomach. I'm sure I've eaten it in hot dogs. So Sundberg is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. We'll post it for you. You got Paul Lindblad, and that's about it. If you don't go with Gossage, you would go with Lindblad. But I think you only go with Paul if the Yankees don't feel they can win. You don't want to burn Gossage. Oops, did I lose you guys? Nope, I lost my own video. Lingua is called for cow tongue. Yep, it went off on my end. I saw that I was still doing it, so. Alright, so single for Zisk. He's on first. Or Oscar Mayer Baloney. Absolutely Tribe fan. Lyle's pitch. There's a bunt. Foul. So Texas really starting to press. They don't need to. They got a 3-0 lead. And Ellis has only thrown 53 pitches through 5. I think that's what Lindblad would be for, Ricky, so you don't have to do that. If you know you're going to lose, you don't waste Gossage. If you can keep it close, you burn Gossage. But then, you're counting on Guidry to get you pretty much everything. Pitch to Sundberg is a fly ball to right. Jackson shovels over, 1 out. for Hara, who has singled twice and scored twice. If there is a Game 5, it'll be 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And since in the replay it would be October 9th, Columbus Day, it would be a 4 p.m. start or 3 p.m. start in New York. So it would technically be a day game that we would play at night. Because they're not moving Monday Night Football to 3 o'clock. Pitch to Hara is a pop-up. Center field, Rivers, 2 out. For Benitez, who's 2 for 2. He has singled twice, scored, and driven in a run. So they were hoping for 3 from Lyle. He's gotten 3 outs. So since this is Ricky's birthday, October 8th, minus 14, he's calling for a Yankees comeback. Pitch to Benitez is a liner down the line and right. Zisk will round third. Reggie's going to throw it home. The throw from the corner, cut off by Stanley to the plate. Got him! What a strike. Reggie to Stanley to Munson. 9-4-2 on the out. 5.5 in the books. The Rangers strand a runner. It's still 3-0. Well, the straw that stirs the drink waited for that to bounce off the wall. He threw a bullet to Stanley, who threw a strike to Munson. And Zisk, who was not fleet of foot, was out. Yup. I don't think this is over by any stretch. We know what the Yankees can do. And they had a 39% chance to make the play. And so you don't eat it. And so this one isn't done and dusted yet. Ellis threw 18 batters, 53 pitches through 5, 2 hits and a walk. Rivers is 0 for 2. He's going to square. Bunt is down. Sundberg lets it roll foul, and the count is 0-2. Just those little turning points in the series that can make the difference. And I think 4 runs probably would have killed Gossage's chance, although Lyle still has an inning and a third maybe to go. Pitch to Rivers is a pop-up right side. Hargrove, foul territory, and that's in the camera well. So what might have been a catch in the regular season is a loud strike in the postseason. 0-2 the count. And that's in the left field, but Oliver will make the play, 1 out. For White, who's 0 for 2. Ellis has held the Yankees to 2 hits. Ground ball to Wills, deep in the hole. Throws to Hargrove, a strong play, a strong gun, and there's 2 out. For Munson, who's 0 for 2. And now, if this holds, the Yankees are really rooting for Philadelphia. That's not a bad commute if you have to play games in back-to-back days. Can you imagine if the Yankees and Royals had gone 5 and then flew out to Los Angeles? Especially since the Dodgers series ended in 4. Pitch to Munson. There's a ground ball to short. Campaneris over to Hargrove, and that will retire the side. The Yankees go in order. Wow. After 6, 3-0 Texas. So Campaneris is going to actually have to swing this time around. He has sack bunted twice. He is the metaphysical equivalent of a pitcher in the American League in the lineup. Lyle has gone an inning and a third and allowed 3 hits. Campaneris to short. Dent. 1 out. Mike Hargrove is 0 for 2 with a walk. Sparky has done his job. Pitch. Ground ball to third. Nettles across the way to Chambliss. Sparky can get a quick inning and go out for the 8th. 2 out for Wills, who has walked. 0 for 1 and driven in a run. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Rangers. and they've left 5 on. The Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors, and they've left 3 on. Jackson, Nettles, and Chambliss for the Yankees in the bottom of the 7th. Popped up, out of play. Munson gives chase. But somebody from Manhattan made that play in the expensive seats. And the count is 0-2. Lyle's pitch. Ground ball to Stanley. Sparky gets the clean inning. Stretch time in the Bronx, 3-0 Texas. We're being told that supplies of oxygen have been shipped to Los Angeles for Mr. Mao and other Philly fans for tonight's game. So Reggie Jackson is 0 for 1. He has drawn a walk, and if the Yankees are going to get something together, they better do it right now. Ellis starts the 7th, a fly ball to center, back goes Beniquez, that is off the wall. Jackson is going to go for 3rd, and it won't even be a throw. And so the straw has stirred the drink again, and there's a runner on 3rd, nobody out for Greg Nettles, who is 0 for 2 today. It may not have been a homer, but it is a spark in this crowd, which has slept through most of this game. Yes, it is Perry Air. Yes, as far as what's being sent out from Malibu, it certainly is Perry Air, darling. So Jackson on 3rd, nobody out for Nettles. In the center field, that should be deep enough to score Jackson. Beniquez will make the catch. It's a sac fly. It's 3-1. So the Yankees are on the board, and Gossage starts to stir in the pen. Here's Chambliss. He's 0 for 2. Nobody on, 1 out. Struck him out. Ellis responds with his first strikeout of the ball game. A 1-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. So Piniella will hit. That average is 264. We don't think we can do any better than that. All right, gang. Who can hit a righty? Gary Thomason can, but I don't want to burn him as a DH. I think I would want to put him in the ball game. Paul Blair can't hit a righty, so we're going to stick with Piniella. Pitch to Lou. Ball 4. So 2 out, and the tying run is Bucky Dent. Dent is 1 for 2. Ellis at 85 pitches through 7. Reggie Cleveland is the Texas closer, and certainly could go 6 outs if he needed to. Pitch to Dent. Ground ball to Hargrove, and he bobbles it! And so a rare error in this. No, he doesn't. He picked it up. He goes to first. He got him. Lemon is out of the dugout. He doesn't think that was the case. That was a close play. The Yankees are arguing it. Hargrove, that hit off the back of his glove. He had to go 10 feet away to get it. You can see it right here. He had to chase it. And you can't argue that they're arguing with it, but there's no replay. The Yankees, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Dent and Lemon argue to no avail. We go to the 8th, 3-1 Texas. So here's Oliver. He is 2 for 3 with an RBI. And it grounded into a double play. Yep. Billy Martin. You can hear him yelling from a box. Wow. So Sparky down to his last base runner. Any outs he can get now is gravy. And you certainly would go with Gossage in a 2-run game. Pitch to Oliver. Ground ball to Stanley. Over to Chambliss. 1 out. Brings up Bobby Bonds, who's 0 for 3. Stanley, Rivers, and White in the 8th. And in the 9th to get the heart of the Yankee lineup. Base hit down the line and left. Bonds is running for 3rd. He'll be in. It's going home, and the throw. No! It's an inside the park home run. It got away from White. And with Bonds' speed, he gets the inside the park home run. 4-1 Rangers. Oh, baby. He just scalded that down the line and left. It bounced away from right. Bonds just he hesitated for a moment at 3rd and then turned on the afterburners. Den had a good throw to the plate, but to no avail. It's 4-1. And indeed, that was Carl Lewis. An inside the park home run by Bobby Bonds. And as usual, speed kills. You knew he had 3rd. He hesitated just long enough to see where the ball was and motored home. So Lyle wants out. 3-run lead, a 3-run deficit. Who are you going with? Lindblad and Gossage are warming. Gossage went 8 pitches last night. You got to be careful here. You need to have Goose available for tomorrow. The Yankee fan says Lindblad. And so in he goes. Lindblad 1-1 in the replay for New York. And as you can see, he is a former Texas Ranger. An ERA of 6.29. Most of his work was out of the pen. He's a fastball pitcher at 85 and a fly ball plus pitcher. 24 and a third innings, 27 hits, 6 homers allowed. He walked 9 and struck out 9. And so unless the Yankees can do something in the bottom of the inning, you're saving the Goose for up to 9 outs tomorrow. Good luck, Texas. Pitch to Zisk, and there's a fly ball to center. Rivers has that lined up. 2 out. For Sundberg, who's 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a single. So expect the unexpected. Ellis, by the way, 88 pitches, but this game still isn't done and dusted. Pitch to Sundberg is into left center. Rivers makes the catch. But the inside the park home run from Bobby Bonds gives the Rangers a big insurance run. Bottom 8, 4-1 Texas. So Fred Stanley 1 for 2 with a single. And then the top of the lineup to face Ellis in the bottom of the 8th. Ball 4. So let's see what the Yankees can cook up, and that's it for Ellis. Lenny Barker coming in. Well, you got your opening, gang. Barker 2 and 6 with a save and an ERA of 6.75. He is a fastball pitcher at 94 and a ground ball pitcher. But his numbers are awful. 37 and a third innings. 43 hits, 4 homers. He walked 36 and struck out 36. And despite the run for Texas in the top of the inning, there is new life for the Yankees yet. Rivers is 0 for 3. Barker's pitch gets away from Sundberg, and Stanley goes to second on the wild pitch. Way outside and all the way to the screen. And the count goes to a ball and a strike. Pitch to Rivers. There's a liner to left. Oliver makes the catch. Stanley back to second. 1 out for White. And now they'll make the move. Gary Thomason will pinch hit. 250, 5 homers, and 17 RBI. Disembodied voices everywhere here. Pitch from Barker. Ball 4. You know you've done something right when the trolls come in. Tying run is Munson. He is 0 for 3. And Gossage gets back up in the pen. Pitch from Barker. Ground ball to Campy. Wills for 1. Over to Hargrove. Got him! 6, 4, 3. Barker looks to the heavens and says, "Thank you very much." We go to the 9th. 4-1 Texas. So Gary Thomason is in the game in left field, and he'll bat second. So Hara, Beniquez, and Campaneris for Lindblad. Toby, 2 for 3. With 2 singles and 2 runs. Lorenzo misses his 3-4 meals, Malden Salt, silent auctions. No one leaves early. This game isn't over yet. And the thing is, if the Rangers win, you'll be back. Pitch to Hara is a ground ball to Dent. Behind the bag, over to Chambliss, 1 out. Here's Beniquez. If the Dodger fans are leaving early tonight, a pox on their house. Beniquez 3 for 3. He has singled twice, doubled, driven in a run, and scored. And if you tell me about the traffic, I'll tell you it's Sunday. Pitch to Beniquez. Into left field. Thomason, 2 out. Had to run the corner and make a good play. And now bring up Campaneris, who's 0 for 1. So the Yankees are 3 outs away from a Game 5. Pitch to Campy, ball 4. So I'll bring up Hargrove, who's 0 for 3 with the walk. Campaneris, good speed on the bases. In the center. Rivers. That's it. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Reggie Jackson has been the only player to show up for the Yankees today, except for the pitchers. The pitchers has been good. 4-1 Texas. And so 3 to tie and 4 for the pennant. Reggie Jackson tripled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. He has walked and scored. The lone Yankee run that came in the 7th. Barker will stay in the ballgame. I can't believe it's not Cleveland. And he got him. He got him to look at an off-speed pitch for strike 3. And the groans there to do it. And more pennies, which Reggie goes along and collects. Cameraman starts to focus on Pucky Dent. Here's Nettles. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI. 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Rangers. They've left 6 on. The Yankees a run on 3 hits, no errors, and they've left 5. Pitch to Nettles is a ground ball to Hargrove. He takes it to the bag himself. Maybe he's running out. He underhanded to Barker, and Lenny remembered to keep his foot on the bag. 2 out. Ron Guidry, John Matlack for the pennant tomorrow night, unless something absolutely crazy happens. Here's Chambliss. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. On the real year, Barker only had 4 saves. In the replay, he had 1. And he's 1 out away from the biggest postseason moment of his entire life. Pitch to Chambliss. Center field. Game 5 tomorrow night. What a stand and deliver performance by the Texas Rangers. They have forced the decider by holding the Yankees to 3 hits. So 4 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. The Yankees 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. Doc Ellis, 3-hitter through 7, and he gave up the run only because Reggie could triple. You can see Reggie in the dugout yelling at the rest of his team. This was a lackluster performance. Ellis walked 3 and struck out 1. Barker, 6 outs. In fact, he faced only 6 batters. I would be surprised if you got an LA-New York series. Now, Brent, same for you. Starting tonight, beer throwing gets you a 5-minute timeout. Ken Clay, I thought, pitched well. 4 2/3 innings. He got tired in the 5th. 6 hits, 3 runs. He walked 2 and struck out 1. He could have thrown 84 pitches. Sparky Lyle did what he could, and Lindblad did what he could too. We don't want anybody to miss Game 5s or that, and so don't do it. Don't do it. Kids might be watching. So, we're set up for the ultimate finale. A Game 5 tonight between the Dodgers and the Phillies, and a Game 5 tomorrow night between the Rangers and the Yankees. Wow. So we're going to go the distance. We're going to get all 10 ALCS games. Because that's my job, to be the voice of reason. That's why I get paid the big bucks. All right, so until 8 o'clock tonight, I'm Ron Juckett. We hope you enjoyed. The Texas Rangers have pushed the Yankees to the brink. And so the brinkmanship continues at 8 o'clock. It'll be Larry Christensen for the Phillies, Bert Hooton for the Dodgers. Tomorrow, John Matlack for the Rangers, Ron Guidry for the Yankees. There's 2 pennants on the line. Who's going to win them? We'll find out starting tonight. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.